Assalamu alaikum, dear students of HSC first year. Once again, welcome to the online class arranged by Rajshahi College. I am Amit Sadat, Assistant Professor of English. Hope you all are keeping fine by the grace of Almighty Allah in this pandemic situation. I hope things will get better soon and we will return to our green and glorious Rajshahi College campus. Today, I will discuss about Unit 2, Lesson 3, and today's title of the lesson is Scientific Breakthroughs We Are Waiting For. And there are some scientific breakthroughs which have not yet been invented. And number one is DNA computer. And number two is permanent moon base. And number three, clean energy. And number four, cure for cancer. Okay, these are the four topics which we will discuss today. Number one, DNA computer. Number two, permanent moon base. Number three, clean energy. And number four, cure for cancer. And I request my students to read the text carefully, because from the text you will get MCQ questions, you will get clause test with clues, clause test without clues, and some open-ended questions. So I request all the students to read English for today, the textbook, very carefully. I have made a slide presentation for the today's discussion, and with the help of slide presentation we will learn a lot. So let's go to the slide presentation. Okay, dear learners, before going to discuss from text, let's have a look on today's class outline. Here is today's class outline. From today's class you may learn Unit 2, Lesson 3, and I will read the text with annotation and explanation. Then vocabulary with synonyms and antonyms. I have made a vocabulary for you which will help you to understand the passage. Then choose the best answer. For practice, I have made some MCQ type of questions for your practice. Then clause test with clues. I have made a fill in the blanks for you for practice. Then clause test without clues, and at last some open-ended questions or short questions for your understanding the passage. Okay, today we will start Unit 2, Lesson 3, and the title of today's lesson is Scientific Breakthroughs We Are Waiting For 1. At first, there is a warm-up activity. Science has grown rapidly over the past few centuries, making things possible that were once considered completely impossible. Science has done a lot of cure many of our worldly troubles, but one thing about science is that it isn't perfect and never will be. And the reason for this is that there is no last word in science. There is always more to discover. Okay, dear learners, now this is the text from English for today, and it is about some of the breakthroughs that have not happened yet. That means today which we will discuss some breakthroughs of science which have not yet discovered or implemented. Okay, at first we will discuss on DNA computer. Okay, imagine having an iPod capable of holding thousands of years of high definition video. A DNA computer would make such a device very possible. DNA is the substance that living organisms use to store genetic information. What makes DNA special is that it is extremely efficient when it comes to storing information in a limited space. Here is a word organism, I have marked, or I have highlighted this word because there are some words which are difficult for you to understand. So I have highlighted the difficult words, and I will explain the word for your better understanding. Here, organism means a single living plant or animal or other living thing. Okay, next, just 1 milligram of DNA is capable of holding all the printed material in the world. I repeat, just 1 milligram of DNA is capable of holding all the printed material in the world. And DNA computing is currently in its infancy, with prototypes such as Maya 2 only capable of showing the concept. Here is the word prototype. What does it mean? Prototype means the ancient time, the ancient type, and Maya 2 is just a prototype of DNA computer. And if DNA computing is perfected, computers will become capable of holding amounts of information that are hard to imagine by today's standard. So DNA computer will be a very great success for science, because this type of computer can hold a lot of information, and we can know a lot of things from this type of computer. Okay, there is another item, permanent moon base. Ever since setting up human habitation in space was first imagined, it was thought that the moon would be the first object to be colonized, since it was closest to Earth. Here is the word habitation. I have highlighted the word to explain the word. Habitation means the act of living in a particular place. Act of living in a particular place. And there is another word, colonized. Colonized means to establish a colony. Here the human being wants to make a colony in moon. They want to make a new abode for human being, since it was closest to the earth. In 1969, when man first walked on the moon, a permanent colony suddenly appeared to be very achievable. So here is another word, colony. What does it mean? It means a group of people of one nationality or race living in a foreign place. So colony means a group of people of one nationality or one race living in a foreign place. So human beings want to make their colony in the moon, and suddenly appeared to be very achievable. Here achievable means possible to achieve. However, for a variety of reasons, both economical and technical, the project was never truly attempted. So the hope of living in moon is not possible yet because of economical and technical problem. However, NASA currently has plans to have one constructed by 2024, or we can say that in the coming 2024 we can find a new abode in moon. The European Space Agency, here dear learners, you can see the picture of European Space Agency, and also has plans to construct a moon base by 2025. And Japan and India also each have plans to have a base by 2030. 2030. The biggest barrier to a base is money, and many people within NASA, including Buzz Aldrin, have criticized the building of a moon base, saying that NASA should put more focus on different issues like clean energy. Here is the word barrier I have highlighted. Barrier means anything that restrains or obstructs to progress. Then clean energy. There is another invention of science is clean energy. While many alternatives to fossil fuels have been investigated, there is still quite a way to go before mankind's energy supply is completely renewable. Here is the word investigated, and here investigated means a formal inquiry. A formal inquiry has been going on for clean energy, and there is still quite a way to go before mankind's energy supply is completely renewable. Here renewable means capable of being renewed or not depleted when used. As of today, about 85% of all energy comes from fossil fuels. Here fossil means part of a plant or an animal that has been preserved in rock or earth for a long time. I repeat, fossil means part of a plant or animal that has been preserved in rock or earth for a long time. And fuels mean substance consumed to provide energy. And here you can see a windmill which will create energy for us. The reason clean energy is considered to be important is because fossil fuels are not expected to last much longer. They pollute the environment and they have led to tensions between nations. The reason clean energy is hard to come by is that we have spent the past 150 years dependent on oil, and it's quite difficult to make the switch. And here you can see a picture of green energy. Here is windmill, here is some solar which will create clean energy for us. Some have even suggested that the technology for producing vast amounts of clean energy already exists but is being suppressed by big oil companies. However, several European countries have produced considerable amounts of clean energy, and current methods of clean energy include wind, solar, geothermal, tidal, hydropower, nuclear, and biofuel. Here we have got some new word. Number one is geothermal. What is geothermal? Geothermal means relating to or produced by the internal heat of the earth. Relating to or produced by the internal heat of the earth. And tidal means relating to the tide, that is rise and fall of the sea. So from this we can get clean energy. And there is another word is biofuel. What is the meaning of biofuel? Biofuel means a fuel derived from living matter. A fuel derived from living matter is called biofuel. And here is a great information that big oil companies of the world are trying to suppress clean energy. And here, dear learners, you can get some pictures of clean energy. There is an energy bulb, solar system, and there is a barrage of water, and there is some tidal, windmill, etc., from which we can get clean energy. Okay, cure for cancer. Another topic of today's discussion. Cancer is one of the deadliest diseases of the modern era, and ever since the days of Hippocrates, people have been searching for a cure. Cancer is similar to the common cold, and that although there are many ways to treat it, modern medicine is still yet to come up with a cure. So cancer is a deadliest disease, no doubt. And here is a reference of Hippocrates. Who is Hippocrates? Hippocrates is a Greek physician of 5th century BC. And from the time of Hippocrates, we are trying to searching for cure cancer. And this is partially because like the common cold, there are many different types of cancer, and they are all slightly different. Unfortunately, with over 7 million deaths per year, cancer is much more serious than the common cold. I repeat, unfortunately, with over 7 million deaths per year, cancer is much more serious than the common cold. A wide assortment of drugs, chemicals, stem cells, genetically modified viruses, and even arsenic have all been proposed as cancer cures. Here is a word I have highlighted: assortment. What is the meaning of assortment? Assortment means a collection of varying but related items. And I repeat the last line: a wide assortment of drugs. Wide assortment of drugs means a collection of varying but related items of drugs, chemicals, stem cells, genetically modified viruses, and even arsenic have all been proposed as cancer cures. Okay, after finishing the test, I have made a vocabulary for you. Here is the word and Bengali meaning, and here is synonyms, opposites, and derivatives. Okay, achievable is the first word. Achievable is an adjective, and its meaning is orjonjogyo, possible to achieve, and its noun is achievement and verb is achieve. Barrier is a noun. Its Bengali meaning is protibandhok, anything that restrains, obstructs progress, etc. Its synonym is obstruction, hindrance, impediment, and its opposite, that means antonym, is assistance. Colonized is adjective, and its Bengali meaning is odhushito, the thing which has been dominated, and its noun is colonization, and its verb is colonize. And definition is noun. Its Bengali meaning is sushposhto bhabe ruporekha dekhbar shakti. Its English meaning is the degree of distinctness in outline of an object, image, or sound. Its verb is define, adjective definite, synonym clarity, resolution, and antonym is ambiguity, blur, or vagueness. Device is noun. Its Bengali meaning is jantro, or some other a piece of equipment made for particular purpose, and its synonym is equipment with features. And there is another word is focus. Focus is noun. Its Bengali meaning is monojoger kendro bindu, and the center of interest of activity is its English meaning, and its verb is focus, adjective is focusable, and synonym is core. There is some other vocabulary also. And prototype, here is the word prototype. Prototype is noun. Its Bengali meaning is adirup, that is the ancient type, and its synonym is ancestor. And space is noun. Its Bengali meaning is mahashunno, the physical universe beyond the Earth's atmosphere, and its synonym is sky, firmament, outer space, etc. And its opposite or antonym is Hades or underground. Substance is a noun. Its Bengali meaning is bostu othoba padartho. Its English meaning is the most important or essential part of something. Its adjective is substantial, synonym is material, item, etc. and opposite is abstract. Suppress is a verb. Its Bengali meaning is damon kora ba chapa deya. Its English meaning is prevent the dissemination of information. Its noun is suppressor or suppression. Adjective is suppressible, suppressive, suppressed, and its synonym is withhold, and opposite is release. Infancy is noun. Its Bengali meaning is ummeshkal ba shoishab, the early stage in the development of something, and its adjective is infant, synonym is inception, beginning, etc. and opposite is maturity, adulthood, etc. And last word, habitation. It's a noun and its Bengali meaning is boshoti, the act of living in a particular place. And its verb is habitat, adjective is habituative, habitable, and synonym is residence or abode. The last list of vocabulary is alternative. Alternative means vikalpo, a choice limited to one or two or more possibilities. Its verb is alternate, adjective is alternating, and synonym is option, and opposite is definite. Assortment is the noun. Its Bengali meaning is nana dhoroner jinisher samabesh, a collection of varying but related items, and its synonym is mixture. There is another word, fossil. Fossil is noun. Its Bengali meaning is jibasho, the mineralized remains of an animal or plant, and its verb is fossilize. Fuel is noun. Its Bengali meaning is jalani, and its English meaning is substance consumed to provide energy, and its synonym is kindling. Genetic is an adjective, and its Bengali meaning is bangshogoti sambandhiyo, relating to gene, and its noun is gene, and synonym is hereditary or genetical. Geothermal is a very important word. It is an adjective, and geothermal's Bengali meaning is bhutapiyo, and its English meaning is pertaining to heat energy extracted from reservoirs in the earth's interior, and its noun is geothermic, and adverb is geothermically. And last word, hypocrite. It's a noun. Bengali meaning is Greek chikitsha bigyani. Hippocrates was a Greek physician of 5th century BC, and its adjective is Hippocratic. So this is the vocabulary from my part, and I'd like to request the learners to try to memorize the meaning of the word, try to understand the meaning of the word, so that you can understand the passage more successfully. Okay, now after finishing the text, I have made some questions for you. There is number 1 question, choose the correct answer from the alternatives. That is MCQ type questions, and if a learner can read the text thoroughly and carefully, he is capable to answer all types of questions. Okay, number A, what are used in DNA computer? There are 4 options. Number 1, DNA. Number 2, biochemistry. Number 3, molecular biology. Number 4, all of the above. And the answer is all of the above. So DNA computer means DNA and biochemistry and molecular biology. Number B, the question is, DNA computer is capable of storing more information in a limited, option is space, 2 position, option 3 situation, and option 4 condition. I think the correct answer will be number 1, space. Question C, who is Buzz Aldrin? Option 1, the first person to walk on the surface of the moon. Option 2, the second person to walk on the surface of the moon. Option 3, the third person to set foot on the surface of the moon. And option 4, the fourth person to set foot on the surface of the moon. And I think the best answer should be option 2, the second person to walk on the surface of the moon. Question D. Device in the text could be best replaced by option 1, division, option 2, devious, option 3, instrument, and option 4, deviate. So which will be the correct answer for device? Device means instrument. So here instrument is the text could be replaced by device. And number E, what does organism means? Organism means a living thing, or organ, or organization, or organize. Here a living thing is the correct answer. So dear learners, here is the solution to question 1. For question A, answer is option 4, all of the above. For question B, answer is option 1 space. For question C, answer is option 2, the second person to walk on the surface of the moon. And for question D, answer is option 3, instrument. And for question E, answer is option 1, a living thing. I have made some more questions for you for practice. Here are some more MCQ questions for you. The word fossil in the text could be best replaced by option 1, foster, option 2, crops, option 3, fuss, and option 4, remnant of an animal or plant. So at first you have to understand the options and then try to answer the correct answer. Here the word fossil in the text could be best replaced by option 4, remnant of an animal or plant. Question B, the best synonym of geothermal is option 1, of or relating to the internal heat of the earth, option 2, geology, option 3, of temperature, and option 4 is geological analysis. Here is the best answer is option 1. So geothermal is of or relating to the internal heat of the earth. Internal heat of the earth. Question C, which of the following has been proposed as cancer cure? Option 1, tobacco, option 2, tea leaves, option 3, genetically modified viruses, and option 4, homeopathy. Here 3 is the correct answer. Genetically modified viruses has been proposed as cancer cure. And which one of the following pollutes environment? Option 1, fossil fuel, option 2, solar energy, option 3, wind, option 4, hydropower. Here the correct answer is fossil fuel. Fossil fuel, one of the following pollutes environment. Which one of the following pollutes environment? So the answer is fossil fuel. Fossil fuel creates a lot of carbon dioxide which pollutes environment. Option E, which of the following is a fossil fuel? Number 1, wind, option 2, sunlight, option 3, solar energy, and option 4, coal. So here coal is the correct answer because coal is a fossil fuel. So here is the solution to more MCQ questions. I have already discussed this. For question A, option 4 is the correct answer, remnant of an animal or plant. For question B, option 1 is the correct answer, of or relating to the internal heat of the earth. For question C, answer option 3, genetically modified viruses. For question D, option 1 is the correct answer, fossil fuel. And for question E, option 4 is the correct answer, coal. This is a kind of sample question for you. You have to target more questions. You have to practice more questions for your better understand and for the better result in HSC exam. Here is a question 2. Fill in the gaps with suitable words from the list. It is also called clause test with clues. There are 10 clues, and with the help of these clues you have to answer the following gaps. And dear learners, it is also a kind of sample question for you, sample clause test with clues. You have to practice more clause test with clues for better result in the coming HSC exam. So now let's start. While many option A or gap A to fossil fuels have been gap B, there is still quite a way to go before gap C. So first of all, you have to read the line, and then you have to try to find the correct answer, and then you have to write down in your khatas. Okay, for gap A, while many alternatives is the correct answer to fossil fuels have been investigated. Option B, for gap B, investigated is the correct answer. Investigated, there is still quite a way to go before gap C. Before gap C, C is mankind will be the correct answer for gap C. To go before mankind, energy supply is gap D. Which will be the correct answer for gap D? Completely is the correct answer. Completely renewable. So I repeat the line. While many alternatives to fossil fuel have been investigated, there is still quite a way to go before mankind energy supply is completely renewable. Okay, then next sentence. As of today, about 85% of all gap E, which will be the correct answer for gap E? Energy is the correct answer for gap E. As of today, about 85% of all energy comes from fossil fuels. The gap F of clean energy is gap G. To be important is because fossil fuels are not gap H. So one by one we have to try. For gap F, reason is the correct answer. Here is the option reason. Reason is the correct answer. The reason of clean energy is considered is the correct answer for gap G. The reason of clean energy is considered to be important is because fossil fuels aren't H. Expected is the correct answer for H. Expected is the correct answer because fossil fuels are not expected to last much longer. They gap I, the environment. So which will be the correct answer for gap I? Pollute will be the correct answer for gap I. They pollute the environment and they have led to tensions, gap J, which will be the correct answer. Between is the correct answer for gap J. They have led to tensions between nations. So I repeat last line. The reason of clean energy is considered to be important is because fossil fuels aren't expected to last much longer. They pollute the environment and they have led to tensions between nations. Okay, I have also made a solution for question 2, that means clause test with clues. Here is the answer. For gap A, alternative is the correct answer. For gap B, investigated. Gap C, mankind. For gap D, completely is the correct answer. For gap E, energy is the correct answer. For gap F, reason. Gap G, considered is the correct answer. For gap H, expected is the correct answer. For gap I, pollute is the correct answer. And for gap J, between is the correct answer. You may write down the answers in your khata. Here is question 3. Complete the following passage with suitable words. It is also called clause test without clues. There is no clues for you. You have to fill in the blank by yourself. Okay, let's start. We are living in the age of science, gap A. So in the gap A, you may write today, or you may write at present, or you may write now. So we are living in the age of science today, or age of science now, or age of science at present. So for each gap you can use many options which is fit for this gap. There has been a dash progress in this field in only 100 years or more. So for gap B you can write significant. There has been a significant progress in this field in only 100 years or more. Science has made our life sophisticated, comfortable and dash safe. So which will be the correct answer for gap C? Completely. You can write completely. Science has made our life sophisticated, comfortable and completely safe. in all the spheres of life, we can feel the dash of science. So which will be the correct answer for gap D? You can write wonders of science, or you can write touch of science, etc. As for internet facility has been made easy by the dash of science. So which will be the correct answer for gap E? You can write blessings. As for internet facility has been made easy by the blessings of science, but in Bangladesh this information based system is still a far cry. In India, Nepal and Pakistan, it is a cheap as cheap as mobile phone, which is another dash invention of science. So which will be the correct answer for F? You can write wonderful invention of science, or you can write remarkable invention of science. After much dash, we have become dash to be connected with submarine cable. So which will be the correct answer for gap G? After much struggle, you can write struggle for gap G. After much struggle, we have become successful is the correct answer for gap H. We have become successful to be connected with submarine cable, but still most of the population are gap I of getting benefit from it. So which will be the correct answer for gap I? Deprived. You can write deprived. Then I repeat the line, but still most of the population are deprived of getting benefit from it. But we should realize that internet is the storehouse of dash knowledge. So which will be the correct answer for gap J? It will be latest knowledge. So I repeat the line, but we should realize that internet is the storehouse of latest knowledge. The concerned authority should ensure internet facility to all as quick as possible. So here is the solution for question 3. For gap A, you can write today, or at present, or now. For gap B, you can write significant. For gap C, completely is the correct answer. For gap D, wonders or touch is the correct answer. For gap E, blessing is the correct answer. For gap F, wonderful or remarkable is the correct answer. For gap G, struggle is the correct answer. For gap H, successful is the correct answer. For gap I, deprived is the correct answer. And for gap J, latest is the correct answer. So this is the solution for question 3, and you have already observed that you can write a lot of options for each gap, which is befitting for the gap. Now answer the following question. I have made some open-ended questions or short questions for you for practice. You may follow my answer. This is a sample answer for you, but you can write also in your own English, in your own way. Okay, question A. What does living organism use to store genetic information? The answer is living organism uses DNA, a substance, to store genetic information. Question B. What is DNA? Answer. DNA refers to deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Question C. What does permanent moon base imply? This implies permanent human habitation on the moon. Setting up human habitation on the moon is now every man's dream. I repeat, setting up human habitation on the moon is now every man's dream, and my dreams also. Question D. Why are DNA computers much more powerful than today's standard computers? Answer is DNA computers are much more powerful than today's standard computers because concept of this type of computer has been taken from the efficiency of DNA of the living organism. Just 1 milligram of DNA is capable of holding all the printed material in the world. A DNA computer is currently in infancy, but if it can be perfected, then such a computer will become capable of holding amounts of information that are hard to imagine by today's standard. And of course, DNA computer will be a greatest inventions of science. Which have been proposed for cancer cures now? Answer is a wide assortment of drugs, chemicals, stem cells, genetically modified viruses, and even arsenic have all been proposed for cancer cure. Last question F. Which countries have been produced considerable amounts of clean energy? Which countries have been produced considerable amounts of clean energy? Answer is several European countries have produced considerable amounts of clean energy. Current methods of clean energy include wind, solar, geothermal, tidal, hydropower, nuclear, and biofuel. So thank you very much, dear learners. I think you have learned a lot from today's class. Today we have discussed about DNA computer, permanent moon base, clean energy, and cure for cancer. These are the scientific breakthroughs which have not yet invented. We are also waiting for another scientific breakthrough, that is the invention of the vaccine of COVID-19. You know that we are passing a very critical time and we are waiting for the vaccine of COVID-19 which will rescue the life of a lot of people. So stay home and stay safe. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz.